You can compete. You can win. You will have fun. The Yellow Pages Tour de Ski. This series of head-to-head ski races is handicapped to ensure fabulous fun for family and friends. The Tour de Ski, your chance to race for the gold. And all participants can win head skis, Tyrolia bindings, Revo sunglasses, and more. The Tour de Ski, sponsored by the Yellow Pages and the Weather Network. Coming soon to a ski area near you. Join the Weather Network for the Yellow Pages Tour de Ski.
Please consult our legend of color codes throughout this report. The time at the top of this report indicates when data was filed.
And welcome back, everyone. I'm Scott Simms in the Weather Network. We preempt the usual feature for highway conditions due to technical difficulties. But just give you a quick update on what's happening for the west. No major problems towards the BC coast. Right now, the trough disappearing. We're seeing some clear skies break out. Very cold in Saskatchewan, and a possibility for both Saskatchewan and Manitoba of some drifting snow on major highways. Nothing major at this hour, but still please be very careful if you're driving in towards Winnipeg, Saskatoon, Regina, into northwestern Ontario. Just over the lakehead we have some light snow, could cause some difficulties. Now for northeastern Ontario, now we're getting into a lot of difficulties because of snow squall activity into Ontario on the lee side of Lake Superior, Superior East, and Sault Ste. Marie. Highway 17, just north of the city, part of the Trans-Canada Highway, experiencing difficulties right now. There have been some reports of closures in the area, so please be careful of that. And also nearest Lake Huron and Georgian Bay, these areas experiencing a lot of difficulties, especially for highways surrounding the area of Owen Sound. Owen Sound towards Wyerton. There have been many highway closures in the region, including Highway 6, many portions of Highway 6. We'll give you more details in the next hour of these specific highways, but please keep in mind it's very difficult in the Grey, Bruce counties. The OPP, the local officials, are advising motorists to please stay off the highways. Already the plows have been pulled off because of zero visibility and drifting snow. Stay tuned.
Time for the international forecast on the Weather Network. We'll start with the satellite look at Europe. A couple of systems to tell you about. The first is in the central eastern portions of Europe and moving east, but bringing overcast skies and scattered showers to portions of Europe in the center and the east. In between, variable skies, but enough clearing for portions of Spain, so not a bad day in Spain. And behind that, another low-pressure system moving in. It will also bring overcast skies, scattered showers to the western portions of Europe. Over to Asia now, where we have generally clear skies for Japan and through Korea. Beijing as well is also under clear skies. For the southern portions of China, a little bit more variable to overcast skies. Down to the Philippines, some scattered cloud. Generally clear through Australia, but with some clouds through the northeastern sections.
And we're back now with our national weather picture. The weather makers are coming up in a moment. Here's a look at tonight's jet stream. You'll find the jet stream coming at us out of Oregon tonight and moving into the U.S. southeast before climbing through the eastern seaboard and continuing right through southern Newfoundland. So cold in western Canada, very cold from the eastern prairies through to central Canada, and temperatures will be seasonal or slightly below seasonal in Atlantic Canada tonight. As far as the weather makers go, we've got that warm front moving into Newfoundland, so temperature readings in Newfoundland, throughout Newfoundland really, will be near seasonal, but definitely falling temperatures behind that cold front in the Maritimes. In fact, we find that cold front stretching from the Maritime provinces all the way back through British Columbia. The map is almost self-explanatory tonight. Generally clear and cold, Maritimes, Quebec into Ontario. The winds will diminish only slightly across southern and central Ontario tonight. Continuing breezy on the prairies, clear and cold behind that cold front. And we've got the easterlies and northeasterlies tracking across British Columbia tonight. So here also we'll find falling temperatures. Really that cold air mass won't reach the Vancouver and Victoria areas until early tomorrow morning. As far as the temperature readings go, well, there's no doubt about it that it's going to be a winter lock from one end of the country to the other. We'll probably be in that minus 25 to minus 30 degree range on the eastern prairies today, with significant wind chill values throughout most of western Canada.
That's our analysis of major weather systems. Here's how it relates to your immediate area. These local forecasts are updated around the clock by meteorologists here at the Weather Network.
Welcome back. I'm Lianne Castelino. The weather patterns we've experienced so far this winter have been relatively unique, and they've now become the source of debate among scientists here and in the United States. Climatologists south of the border believe we're being influenced by an El Nino effect. But as Les Krifaton reports, their Canadian counterparts aren't so sure.
By definition, an El Nino is a winter anomaly. A simple explanation of an El Nino is that sea surface temperatures increase near the international dateline. Those warmer water temperatures help displace normal wind patterns, altering the path normally taken by weather systems. The warmer waters and different wind patterns push toward North and South America, thus changing our usual winter climate. So far this winter, we've seen some unusual weather conditions in both Canada and the United States. But can we say for certain that this is an El Nino winter?
El Ninos tend to have their biggest effect in the late winter rather than the early winter. And since about mid-December, it has been consistently warmer than normal in the Pacific Northwest and Western Canada.
Charts and graphs used by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration in the United States suggest to American officials that we are in the midst of an El Nino.
I would call it a full-fledged El Nino, and especially because there's increasing evidence that the sea surface temperatures and the convection, the thunderstorm activity in the atmosphere in the central Pacific near the dateline has the biggest effect on the worldwide atmosphere.
It's a view not shared by Canadian climatologists and oceanographers.
The indices are suggestive of an El Nino, but they seem rather small. Perhaps the difference is just a semantic one. Perhaps we've not really clearly defined what an El Nino is.
For the Weather Network, I'm Les Krifaton in Vancouver.
We'll present part 2 of that report tomorrow on Earthwatch. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Lianne Castelino. Experts are divided on whether or not unusual climate patterns this winter are the product of an El Nino. Les Krifaton has more now on the debate in part 2 of this Earthwatch special report.
Early January, and most of the country is enjoying record-breaking warm temperatures. American climatologists say the reason is El Nino. Their Canadian counterparts disagree, saying the milder winter weather has more to do with high-pressure systems on both coasts, which pushed the jet stream north and allowed warmer southern air to invade our country. In other words, Canadian officials say there is no El Nino.
My argument would be that these changes, yes, they are in the direction of an El Nino, but they're rather small. For example, a change of sea level at the coast of Peru has been observed of about 10 centimeters. Well, in a large El Nino, we would see changes of perhaps 25 or 30 centimeters. We've recently seen a change in temperature at a place called Paita, very close to the equator, of about 2 degrees Celsius. Well, in a large El Nino, we might see 8 degrees warming at that site.
So who's right? Is this a genuine scientific agreement or a matter of interpretation?
We're all friends and we all look at the same data. As I said, I think that the disagreement may quite likely just be a semantic one. What one defines to be an El Nino. If we all worked with the same definition, I'm sure there would be no disagreement at all.
The subject of whether or not we are experiencing an El Nino has produced some friendly debates among the scientific communities on both sides of the border. Whatever the official reason for the warmer winter weather, we do know that many Canadians are relieved that they are not experiencing a replay of last winter's record cold.
Winter swept across parts of BC Sunday morning with a fury. Up to 15 centimeters fell in Victoria, paralyzing roadways. Strong winds also carved through the lower mainland, toppling trees and downing power lines.
And welcome back, everyone. This Highways Report is the feature segment of our Storm Watch. As we take a look, first of all, at the satellite image, we're going to talk about the active weather and highway closures. First of all, Newfoundland. Strong winds, blowing snow, an additional 10 to 15 centimeters of snow. It's a blizzard in the northern part of the island. And around central Newfoundland, many highways have been closed. Plows pulled off the highways and whatnot. Zero visibility in the region. And for the southwest of Ontario, we still have some snow squalls happening right now as we take a look. We can see that snow squall warning in effect lee side of Lake Huron, Georgian Bay, and Sault Ste. Marie right now. Some very active weather. Here's the details as we take a look. Highways 4, 9, 86, 21. Snow squall activity have closed these highways. Wingham, Hanover, Amberley, Goderich, Southampton, Harriston, and Kincardine. Also, all these highways closed at this hour. In addition, 26 and 10. Portions of Highway 6, Durham to Tobermory, Arthur and Fergus, all because of snow squall activity, blowing snow conditions. It's going to continue for the next 10 to 12 hours. Highway 24 has been reopened, but still driving is very difficult at this hour. Snow squall activity has closed Highway 70, Owen Sound to Hepworth. And in addition, just recently, the OPP have closed Highway 17. That's a section of the Trans-Canada Highway between Wawa, Sault Ste. Marie. They're just along the shoreline of Lake Superior, Superior East, and of course that's where all the activity is concerning the snow squall activity on the Superior East and Algoma regions. We're expecting this highway to be closed overnight because the OPP have put up barricades around the region to keep traffic away, and we'll keep you updated throughout the hour on the latest. Stay tuned, lots more to come here on Canada's Weather Network.